I'm certain that many of us are continuing to mourn Bob Hardman's death, and I am sure that the four friends who are sharing memories of Bob are going to say a lot of different things, but also many of the same things that we know. That Bob was a wonderful listener, a very deep listener, compassionate, and wise. About every 10 years, the seminaries decide on a different model for ordained priests, a different idea of what a priest is. And when Bob went through seminary, and he went to Virginia Theological Seminary, the primary image or understanding of an Episcopal priest was that he was, and I think at that time it was he was first and foremost a pastoral caregiver, and Bob was an excellent pastoral caregiver. Bob did so many things in his life and ministry. As an ordained person, he served at St. Martin's by the lake in Minnetonka. He was the associate there. He was then the rector of St. Paul's in Duluth. He then went out to Corvallis, Oregon, and served a church there, and later came back and was the chaplain at Episcopal Church Homes. There are many stories from each church. I hope that we will hear them one day. But what I do know is a couple things that are really critical. And one is that Bob was one of the first people in the ECMN, then the Diocese of Minnesota, to get trained in addiction or dependency ministry, both being involved in a confrontation when someone was addicted to something like alcohol and couldn't admit that, as well as how to get them into recovery. And his sons remember him and his boss at St. Martin's driving people to South Dakota to go to a recovery center. At St. Paul's in Duluth, he and Susan and the people of St. Paul's were very involved in helping Hmong men, women, and children come to Minnesota and get a footing here. They helped them get jobs, and they helped them connect with people who could apprentice them into trades like caning chairs. At St. Matthew's, Bob helped in so many ways. We remember his incredible sermons. We remember him living his Parkinson's out in front of us, showing us how you could face an incredible challenge or set of challenges in your life and still follow God's calling. We also want to just acknowledge Susan and her care for Bob and what she modeled for us there in how to be a faithful friend and spouse when times get hard, as the vows say, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health. Susan, thank you for your faithfulness to Bob and caring for him. So we're all thinking of Bob this day. We're thinking of Susan and their sons, Jesse, Sam, and Andrew, and all the grandchildren. Finally, I just want to say about a year ago, I met with Bob and I asked him how he felt about death, and he said he was at peace with it, that God had been a faithful companion to him throughout his life, and he was completely at peace, at rest with the idea of being with God more fully than ever before. So we think of you now, Bob, with God more fully than ever before, as part of the communion of saints surrounding us and encouraging us, and we live continuing to be inspired by your friendship and your example. Take care.